Hey everybody, Dr. Jeff back here with another Health Tip Tuesday. Today I'd like to talk a little bit about the immune system, and I don't need to tell anyone here this, but we're in the middle of a pandemic and we're going into cold and flu season. So this I thought would be a perfect time to give you 5 strategies to hopefully support that immune function and keep you moving along. These are actually things that I do myself and things that I recommend all of my patients to do almost on a daily basis. So number 1 is make sure you get adequate rest. We want to make sure that we're getting somewhere between 7 and 8 hours of continuous sleep per night, or 7 to 8 hours of rest per night. We know that that sleeping less than 7 hours can suppress immune function. It makes us more susceptible to illness, and so getting that rest is super important. Number 2 is eating a nutritious diet. Now this might sound like a broken record, it might sound very generic, but I would say that eating more processed foods, eating more sugar, definitely puts a burden on the immune system. Why? Because simply you're not giving the immune system what it needs in terms of adequate nutrition to bolster its function. So I'm going to encourage you, while we're even moving into kind of the holiday time coming up and we have Halloween around the corner, that we really do our best to eat whole foods and reduce the amount of sugar intake in our diet. Number 3 is going to be some supplements. Number 3 is going to be zinc. I think zinc is awesome at improving immune function. My recommended dose is somewhere between 30 and 60 milligrams per day. Zinc typically, when it's being taken on a more continuous basis, should be balanced with a little copper. About 1 milligram of copper for every 30 milligrams of zinc. Number 3 is vitamin C. Vitamin C is only made by certain mammals. Humans are not one of them, so we need to get our vitamin C through our diet. Dosing for vitamin C, we hear a lot of different recommendations across the board. It is true that we can only absorb so much at a time. I like the recommendation of somewhere between 500 to 1,000 milligrams 2 to 3 times a day. It is one of those vitamins that if you take too much, you will pee it out, you'll excrete it. And also if you take super high levels of vitamin C, thousands and thousands of milligrams of vitamin C multiple times a day, you could impact its absorption. So we want to make sure that we're taking kind of a moderate amount. So 500 to 1,000 a couple times a day. The third thing I would recommend, and this is based on a study that just was published, and that's vitamin D. So what this study showed is that people who had adequate levels of serum vitamin D had decreased risk of hospitalization from COVID. And so I can't speak directly to, where I'm not saying that vitamin D will keep you from getting this illness, but it may impact the severity of the disease. And we also know that vitamin D absolutely can be beneficial for the immune system in general. So my recommendation safely would be somewhere in the order of 2,000 to 4,000 units of vitamin D. But as I've mentioned on this episode before, get your serum levels checked. Make sure that the amount that you're taking is adequate and that your blood levels are corresponding to what you're actually taking. So take these 5 tips. Hopefully you're well. Stay well. We'll talk to you next time.